This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, June 29th, 2020. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Boy, I've got a lot of bad news for the Annapolis Town Center and the retail front. After a February bankruptcy filing, Pier 1 has been given permission to liquidate all of their stores, including the one here in Annapolis at the Annapolis Town Center. They do expect that all stores will be completely closed by October, but right now they are continuing sales as long as inventory and fixtures and equipment will last. Currently, the store is at 10 to 30% off, and as the sale goes on, those discounts will get steeper and steeper. And another Annapolis Town Center news, Great Gatherings has ceased operations. They posted on their website that effective June 25th, all of their stores are going to be closing, and that includes Ashburn, Virginia, Gainesville, Virginia, Gaithersburg, Maryland, and Fairfax, as well as the one here at the Town Center. They said that they were initially closed due to COVID-19 pandemic, but subsequent to that, their bank has forced the closure. When that happens, pretty much you are at the mercy of the bank to get any kind of money back. If you are in that position, I recommend that you call your credit card company and let them know what's happening and dispute that charge. We did see on Facebook this weekend that there were a lot of people that were squawking about not getting deliveries. If you want to contact their bankruptcy bank, you want to talk to John Hecker at KeyBank. His email address is john.hecker@keybank.com. They are in Ohio, and his last name is spelled Hecker, and John is spelled the right way with the H. Over the last 6 months, the Annapolis Town Center has lost this store, Great Gatherings, as well as Brooks Brothers, Brio Tuscan Grill. Wren Bridal will be closing a little bit later this fall. 24-Hour Fitness, and I was just there last night, and I noticed that Qdoba sort of closed recently, and they are going to be replaced by a New Orleans-inspired restaurant. So that's kind of exciting on that end. Yesterday, Governor Larry Hogan proclaimed June 28th as Freedom of the Press Day in honor of the 5 Capitol Gazette employees that were slain back on June 28th, 2018. Gerald Fishman, Rob Hyacinth, John McNamara, Rebecca Smith, and Wendy Winters. And in a statement, the governor said 2 years ago today, 5 Marylanders lost their lives to a heinous and unthinkable act of violence. Today, as we honor those we lost and all who have lost their lives in the pursuit of informing our citizens, we recognize the vital role that the freedom of the press has in our democracy and our duty to honor and protect this most fundamental constitutional right. Now, last year, State Senator Sarah Elfreth introduced a resolution making June 28th Freedom of the Press Day. The joint resolution was introduced in the House of Delegates by then-Delegate Alice Kane. It passed both chambers unanimously. All right, let's talk COVID for a little bit. There are some sobering numbers that are coming out, actually worldwide, all the way right down here to Anne Arundel County. Globally now, there have been 10 million cases with 500,000 deaths. In the U.S., it's 2.5 million cases with 125,000 deaths, and actually the last 4 days have shown some record increase in new cases. Here in Maryland, the figures are still trending down. Fingers are crossed that we are really on the road, truly on the road to recovery. But we have had a total of 66,777 cases with 3,000 deaths. And right here in Anne Arundel County, we crossed a milestone yesterday with 5,055 cases in Anne Arundel County with 199 deaths. This virus is not something to mess around with. Please, if you're in a crowd, wear your mask. Follow the regulations of all the stores. Let's try to keep everybody as healthy as we possibly can. One way Maryland is looking to keep people healthy, well, at least keep them housing. Maryland is committing $30 million in new funding to help prevent tenants affected by the coronavirus pandemic from facing eviction. Now, eviction moratoriums provided time for federal stimulus funds and unemployment benefits to kick in, but there are a lot of people that are still struggling, and Governor Hogan said the money is going to be spent directly from the CARES Act in 2 separate ways. Most of the money, or $20 million, is going to go into the Federal Community Development Block Grant Program, which will help address eviction prevention needs across all 24 counties in the state. The remaining $10 million will go toward Assisted Housing Relief Program. And once a payment for back rent is received by the landlord through the program, that rental debt is eliminated and the tenant would no longer be facing eviction. So that's good news for a number of people here in Maryland. And here's some scary news. Maryland's Department of Health has shut down a coronavirus testing lab called Advanced Pain Medicine Institute. The reason? Their lack of certification and patients being unable to get their test results. The order requires the lab to notify its patients that their test results may be erroneous. They're also required to provide a complete accounting of all individuals that its lab did test to the health department, and they have suspended their license to operate as a medical laboratory and perform any testing. Locally here, they did the testing on June 6th at the Church of Philippi at 7422 Race Road in Hanover in Anne Arundel County. There were 2 other additional locations in Baltimore City. But really, this begs the question is how did the local health departments set up a testing site with a firm that was not certified? And finally, as we wrap it up, if you are growing tired of the fireworks in your neighborhood and would like to see something a little more professional, despite the objections of D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser, the White House is going forward with a 4th of July celebration. The Pentagon announced that the U.S. military aircraft will grace the skies of Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and D.C. in an aerial salute. They're flying over places that played important roles in the American Revolution. When they get into D.C., they're going to be joining with other DoD and heritage aircraft in an event very similar to the air show that was put on last year in D.C. The air display is just one element of the Independence Day festivities put on by the White House, which does include fireworks over the National Mall. Metro will offer expanded service on the 4th of July to accommodate the planned fireworks display and crowd, but D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser said residents and visitors to the district should stay at home this Independence Day due to the coronavirus. Typically, the city puts on a Capitol 4th, and they've obviously changed up the format a little bit. That is a pre-taped 90-minute special, which PBS will air starting at 8 p.m. on the 4th of July, and Mayor Bowser said that would be a good thing to watch from the safety of your own home. And according to the Government Accountability Office, the 2019 4th of July celebration by the White House cost more than $13 million of taxpayer money. So there you go with that. All right, that does it for the news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we're going to be updating these stories and more. If you're someplace you can give us a rating or a review, please do that. And let your friends, family, and colleagues know how to download a podcast, how to subscribe to this one. It is Monday, so we do have Anne Alsina with your Money Monday report. And also, as we have every day, we have George Young with your local DMV weather forecast. All of that's coming up in just 1 minute. And here's Rick Peters from Solar Energy Services.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Have you been looking for ways to save money recently? Maybe you should consider solar energy for your home. Or are you waiting for the technology to get cheaper? If so, how long are you going to wait? Today's solar costs less than 20% of what it cost 10 years ago. But while solar prices have declined every year, so have the financial incentives. Bottom line, if you wait for cheaper solar, you're also waiting for lower incentives. Take my home, for example. My solar system was installed in 2010, and it's been paid off for almost 5 years, and I no longer have to buy any electricity for another 15 to 20 years. If I waited for cheaper solar, I'd still be paying an electric bill. At Solar Energy Services, we have thousands of satisfied customers who are sure glad they didn't wait. So what are you waiting for? Sunshine's a wasted. Call us today for a free solar design at 410-923-6090 or on the web at solarsaves.net.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, June 29th. This weekend played out as expected across the Annapolis region with temps in the upper 80s to lower 90s and a few scattered storms as well, but overall it was a pretty nice pair of late June days for the area. And today will bring more heat with highs near 90 degrees, though fortunately it will not be nearly as hot as the 100 to 105 degree readings we saw on the state 8 years ago when the memorable super derecho storm moved through the region, causing widespread damage. As for the rest of the week, temps will be in the upper 80s to mid-90s through Friday with a chance of showers and storms Tuesday and Wednesday, with the early outlook for the weekend being one with slightly cooler temps in the 80s, both Saturday and Sunday, with a bit of a chance of some showers and storms on Saturday, July 4th. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there. Stay healthy and be safe. And be sure to download the DMV Weather app on all of your devices by searching DCMDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Store. And also be sure to like DMV Weather on Facebook and Twitter and use our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Dirty house? Call a spouse. That's right. Facts are, men don't always listen when it comes to cleaning the house. Spouses Cleaning Houses does. They clean almost anything. Fridge, oven, tub, showers, walls, porches, floors, ceilings, carpets, upholstery, tables, counters, pictures, mirrors, lights, fans, windows. They even take out the trash. Spouses Cleaning Houses has more than 13 years experience maintaining sparkling clean homes in and around Annapolis with respect and dedication. The friendly and flexible cleaning professionals at Spouses listen, understand, and act to meet nearly all your cleaning requests. For that breath of fresh air, clean feel, call a spouse at 410-571-9428 or at spousescleaninghouses.com. Just in time for your summer get-togethers, they're offering a spectacular summer savings, 20% off your first cleaning. That's right, save 20%. Just call a spouse, 410-571-9428 or at spousescleaninghouses.com. Spouses Cleaning Houses. Men may not listen. The spouses do.
Your money, managing and investing it can be confusing and sometimes scary. Here to help you put your financial picture into focus is Anne Arundel from CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report.
This is Anne Arundel of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. Last week, the S&P 500 started strong but began dropping midweek. On Friday alone, the market fell about 2%. Looking at one-year comparisons, we are still higher than last year. The volatility, or the ups and downs in the market, is going to continue for the foreseeable future. We've had mixed financial news lately. U.S. banks underwent stress testing and passed, meaning they are in overall good financial shape. At the same time, they still need to increase their reserves to make sure they stay in good shape. We saw consumer spending rebound in May, but incomes continue to drop, and consumer sentiment, that is, people's thoughts on the economy, dropped in June with fears of a resurgence in the virus. When you add in continued social upheaval and a universal designated hitter in baseball, we should not expect to see calm markets anytime soon. That square root recovery is looking more likely. The good news is that for people who are in the accumulation phase, that is, people still working and saving for retirement, the volatility can be a good thing. If you are fortunate enough to still have your job, making regular contributions to your retirement accounts allows you to dollar cost average. By investing the same dollar amount at regular intervals, you automatically buy more shares when the price is low and fewer shares when the price is high. For example, if an investment costs $50 and you normally invest $200, you will buy 4 shares. If the price soars to $100 a share, you will only buy 2 shares the next time. And if it drops to $25, you would buy 8 shares. Over those 3 periods, you've bought 14 shares. The average share price was just over $58, but you paid, on average, about $43 a share when you figure you bought 14 shares for $600. When prices drop, you're buying more shares. If you're still working, that's a good thing. Price drops also allow you to make tax-efficient moves, such as Roth conversions or tax loss harvesting. These seemingly small things now can have a big impact in retirement. But what to do if you're rapidly approaching retirement or already there? Reverse dollar cost averaging is a fast way to deplete your savings. That's when you're selling more shares to get the same amount of income during a price drop. There are several ways to help mitigate these drops. For the right person, in the right situation, an annuity may make sense. An annuity is an insurance product. An easy way to think about it is that an annuity is the opposite of life insurance. Life insurance is something you pay into that creates an estate or a lump sum of money when you die. It protects your family if you die too soon. An annuity liquidates an estate. You give that lump sum to the insurance company, and they send you a regular distribution. It protects you against living too long or outliving your money. I'll be honest and say I think annuities are oversold due to the large commissions they pay. If someone is recommending one to you, be sure to ask why that product in particular is best, why that insurance company, and how much the agent is getting paid. Another option for mitigating market volatility is using a bucket strategy. You divide your investments into groups. Some money, usually in cash or very conservative investments, is for the short term. So if there is a drop in the market, you can draw from your short-term bucket. You can have another bucket that produces income, usually by dividend-paying stocks and bonds that generate interest income. Finally, you can have an aggressive bucket where, in a year like 2019, you can sell those growing assets to produce income. In a down market, you wait for them to recover, using your first bucket that was earmarked for short-term spending. There are several more variations on the bucket approach. If you're worried about market downturns affecting your retirement, talk with your advisor. Have a question you want answered? Drop us a line at info@CovingtonAlsina.com. If you want to learn more, join us for one of our virtual education events. You can visit us at CovingtonAlsina.com or our Facebook page to learn more. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. CovingtonAlsina and Great Valley Advisor Group are separate entities from LPL Financial. All performance references historical and is no guarantee of future results. All entities are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions voiced in this show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial advisor or tax advisor prior to investing. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Anne Arundel with CovingtonAlsina.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.